Morning, everybody. I wanted to do a quick video this morning walking on the trail and kind of give you an idea of how continued amazing dogs are in our world. So I live by myself and I have not gotten food poisoning in over 10 years, I think. And I made the mistake at a restaurant and I wanted something because it was too hot to have meat, but I wanted protein, so I had some fish. And I just shouldn't have done it. And 2 days later, and a lot of people don't know actually that food poisoning can happen between 2 hours to 3 days. I didn't know that, so that was something that I learned. It happened on the second day, so not the first night that I had it, but the second night, because I was racking my brain. What did I eat that night that did it? And there was nothing. So just wanted to share with everybody. Like I said, I live alone. It was pretty violent. It was, woke me up at 11 and then I was vomiting and going to the bathroom every hour on the hour until 7 a.m. It was nuts. And I just kind of, the dogs were pretty calm about it. So I knew I wasn't that bad off, or the dogs would have been panicking. But there were a couple of times that I knew I was going to pass out. So you're trying to decide what to do first. Am I going to throw up? Am I going to need to go to the bathroom? Or do I need to pass out? And you're praying to God that you figure out the order pretty quickly, because there's not a lot of error in this one. So I was very lucky. It happened 3 times. And sometimes it was different between the throwing up and the going to the bathroom routine. And I went, even though I'm sitting on the floor or kneeling on the floor, that's still the body going completely limp, and I could hit my head pretty hard. And living by myself, not a good thing with, dogs potentially, being trapped in the house, all that stuff. So I was like, not going to work. So the first time it happened, I made sure I was done doing the other 2 things. And then I laid in the fetal position on the floor with the phone next to me. So if I needed to dial 911, I could. And I just kind of laid down. I said, well, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So this happened multiple times, like I said. And because I looked at my phone before it happened, I realized I was out 15 minutes at a time. And I went, okay. All right, smart. So, when you live alone, you have to be kind of proactive and not get scared and think calmly about what's going to happen so that you can manage all the variables. And even though I was sick, I was thinking about my animals, and making sure that whatever was happening with me was not going to hurt them in any way. Wait, no, I have a vermin in front of me, fuzzy-tailed, long-tailed vermin, and I'm asking it to leave, which it did. Thank God, because sometimes I like to taunt the dogs. All right, so every time I woke up, and my bathroom is the house is really small, so thankfully the bed is right up against the bathroom door pretty much. But that's kind of bad for the dogs, because the dogs, obviously there's no privacy when you own 2 German Shepherds. Anybody who knows Shepherds know there's no privacy with German Shepherds. So I left the door open, and I woke up each time with Bo's head on the back of my lower back, and Thornton, touching me with a paw on my head, right underneath the base of my neck, nothing hurting me, but if anything, we're here. So each time I passed out, they did not panic when I was throwing up or going to the bathroom, but my passing out made them panic. So they came over just to touch me and let me know that they were there. And I just thought, how remarkable and how lovely that, even though I live alone, I'm not alone. I'm never alone. You're never alone. I had these 2 dogs supporting me, but I was also keeping my wits about me. And I did, through the night, bring water, because I didn't have any electrolytes or anything like that, of course. Got to stock those now in the house, because Lord knows when this will happen again. So I did that, and, you know, sipped water all night and kept it down. So that's how I knew I was going to be all right. I wasn't throwing up water. But very important. Well, I was throwing up water for the first 7 hours, but it stopped after that, and I could keep down liquids. So the next thing is friends. I have really great friends. The minute my friends checked on me, everybody was super supportive and super nice. Doesn't matter how far away they were all like, "Are you all right? What do you need?" And I said, well, you know, one friend who's local, she brought me Pedialyte and some fizzy water. And then another friend a few hours away in another city, she Instacarted me Imodium and all this stuff. I mean, the outpouring of support. And then like my friends in LA were calling me, like, making sure you're okay. Like, you need to go to the hospital. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to the hospital. Did that once a few years back when I broke my left side. Not going to a hospital. And you know, in Mexico, by the way, when I was young and would get like versions of Montezuma Revenge, which was way worse than what I just had, what I find amusing is no one ever took my butt to the hospital. It was Sidral, which is like a Mexican apple drink, and it was Imodium back before it was over the counter. I had so many doctors in the family. People ask me, how do you know so much about allopathic? Well, because I had a bazillion frickin' top doctors on the Mexican side of the family, which was pretty funny. So one of them would call in a prescription, and then I would just sit in bed and drink Sidral, maybe have a banana or two and some toast for like 2 weeks. So, and there was never talk about going to the hospital. So I know I'm older. That's something else somebody said. Past few days, you know, I feel more like myself, just weak, like I want to sleep a little bit more. But, you know, animals have to be taken care of. There's no backing down there. But after every walk or every exertion, I suddenly find my legs aching. Like I've had the worst workout on the planet. I'm not dehydrated because I've been hydrating thoroughly with electrolytes and coconut water and, oh my God, everything you can think of. And I realized with a friend's help that I have a potassium magnesium imbalance from all the yakking, but that kind of took me by surprise because I've yacked my guts up, like I said, for days on end when I was younger, and I never afterwards had a magnesium potassium deficiency. And then somebody said, the product of getting old. And I'm like, shut the hell up. So that's my story, guys. Great friends and amazing dogs. I felt so comforted and so grateful for both my guys. They were just very helpful. Bo, a couple of times while I was moving around the house, thought I looked unsteady and came up right next to me like, oh no, you're not falling down. And I was like laughing. I'm like, okay. So remember, when you get sick, reach out to your friends. We have Instacart now. So even if you're not in the same city, you can Instacart your friends. Oops, trip. Anything they need, pretty much. And if you're in the same city, lend a hand. And remember, your dogs can do remarkable things, but be remarkable right back. Like, be conscious. Like, if you think you're going to pass out, man, get on the ground faster, you know, before you pass out so that you don't smack yourself. We can always, I mean, if you're conscious, you know when your ass is about to pass out. Let me tell you. It's a very distinct feeling, and it can start subtly at first. A lot of people have medical conditions who pass out. It may start sudden. It may start gently. Like if you're too busy, you won't recognize it. But if you have a condition that makes you get knocked out, learn what those signals are so that you can get to the ground first, controlled, before you completely go down, you know, and really like break your leg, knock your head. I just heard of somebody who is seizure prone, who went down and like broke their leg, like badly. And I was like, yeah, you know, Not a good idea. And that person should really, they're not an aware person. They don't work with me. And I thought to myself, yeah, if they got conscious, they would know when these things are about to happen. Sometimes there are small signals, and your internal body issue will tell you, or your dogs will tell you. All right, I will talk to y'all soon. Take good care. Remember, if you're feeling sick, you live alone, take your phone with you wherever you go. Put it within reach so that you're not left struggling and pulling the phone towards you, trying to figure it out. So anyway, have a great day, guys. And yeah, I'm feeling so much better. It's just going to take me a while to figure out these mineral imbalances, but I'm good. And thanks again to all my friends, Joy, Rebecca, Sandra, Greg, all my friends that like reached out and helped. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day and love to you all.